Ubisoft is having a hard time catching a break. The publisher is the subject of a class action lawsuit over their shutdown of the crew, whose claimants say violated the law. We'll get into it.
And Xbox head Phil Spencer made the rounds this week, spilling all the juicy Xbox tea. We'll get into what he said and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest news from the video game industry. You can find us on TikTok, YouTube, and podcast services everywhere. My name is Erect the Red. I'm joined, as always, by this man right here, Full Clip. What's up, dude? How are you?
What's good? Doing all right. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Usual response. I'm tired, and but I'm here and I'm excited. That's it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll be honest. I am a little on edge because this morning I woke up, checked the TikTok, and I noticed that we had a video with like 5 or 6 times the normal views, getting toward like 50 comments on it. We're just getting, I don't know what we're getting, like called out and defended equally. I think
it was fun. It was fun to see the difference there and seeing the sides taking shape. It was a little political, so I think that you'll have that on any social media type platform. But it was fun to see the discourse happening, and I do love that part of TikTok is being able to have those conversations in the comments and stuff like that. Speaking, though, of social media, I did also set us up. We got a Blue Sky now. Gaming News Weekly at Blue Sky. It's the #1 app right now. Everybody's, making the transition from X to over to Blue Sky. So go over there, give us a follow, and we'll start to get something happening over there as well. So, yeah, it's fun. We're having fun, Full Clip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I didn't really get into any new games on my own, just doing that Black Ops 6 grind still, same old,
yeah.
but I did try out a recent game we've been talking a lot about, Little Kitty Big City. My wife bought that for the Switch, and of course I've got to help her out every few minutes over there on like the puzzles and the climbing around the city. But from what I played, I had a lot of fun. It took a little bit to get used to, like, I don't know, my brain isn't wired for the Switch. Because of the backward buttons all the time, like A, B being in different positions to where they should be in my mind. So it's taken a little bit to get used to like navigating the world in that way, figuring out which button does what. But after I got used to that, it's a lot easier. And I'm kind of liking the grind toward 100%. I think we'll be able to finish this one.
Yeah, it's a fun platformer, and like those things, the grind isn't that grindy. I think everything about it is enjoyable. I didn't, that's one I always forget about. I think my kid would like to go back to that. He's in a deep Roblox hole lately. We've just been playing a lot of Roblox here, and I think Little Kitty Big City would be something nice to get out of that, like an actual story, good gameplay, and not just like clicking on things and seeing what hatches out of an egg.
Right.
Which is all we've been doing.
Yeah.
That's good. What prestige are you now in Black Ops? You're like prestige like 13 now?
No, still on prestige 2, getting up there to like right around level 50, I think. So 55 will be the next reset, but I'm so close to gold on my last SMG. So then I'll be able to do the diamond challenges. I'm going to wait till I get this one gold because it's going to be locked again after I prestige until I get up to like level 43 or somewhere in there. So I need to get it there, and then I can start working as I level up to the next prestige. I'll hit all the diamonds as I unlock the SMGs again.
Nice. It's still fun. You're still having fun. I'm going to ask this every week if it's when it becomes more of a chore, because I know you hit that point. Okay, good.
Yeah, the daily challenges really add something to it for me. I've got like just a ton of double XP
tough,
to use. Yeah,
The
they can
dailies
be.
are, they're not just like they used to be, just like get 20 headshots with a SMG or whatever. But now you know they got you switching your loadouts completely to try to get get them done
Right.
different technicians or whatever they have. So yeah, those are interesting. That's pretty much all I've been playing too. Not that I've been playing a lot of it. This week has been, dude, I barely touched my Steam Deck. I played a little bit of Metaphor, and then whenever I do get a chance, which is usually like later in the evening, like 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'll play a couple rounds of Black Ops. But then I'm just like so exhausted. So yeah, I haven't. It's been a very, very busy week. So I haven't gotten a chance. But yeah, everything I have done, I played Black Ops. I did buy the Battle Pass just because I like stupid cosmetics, and I figure I didn't really pay anything really to get to the game. I mean,
Right.
I
already
have
had
it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Right. But I didn't spend an extra $70 to buy the game. So $8.99 to get a few cool cosmetics. Some of the stuff is insane, dude. You see that big glowing like demon knight
Yeah.
thing or whatever? It's like, I think that's like $30 to buy that.
Yeah.
But like I've seen a few crazy ones during like the game, and it really Black Ops it's getting weird, man. It's getting weird.
I'll tell you, that is one of the things that is detracting from the game for me. I don't mind when other people put on their giant dragon neon glowing costume
Right.
and make themselves an easier target for me to hit.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's getting out there a little too fast. I feel like in previous Call of Duty titles, you don't add Snoop Dogg in until season 6 or something.
Sure.
Into the World War II game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's way too fast with that, and like the I don't mind tracer rounds, but now there's something in there that's making you like explode into a pile of lava when you get hit by the gun, and it's a little too much too fast for me.
It's a lot, dude. I totally agree. There's so much happening. You got people like leaving like fire trails when they run, and like just glowing things everywhere. Yeah, it is a lot, I don't want to be the old man yelling at clouds, that's not my Black Ops. But yeah, it is it's crazy to watch some of it sometimes. Like if you were an outsider and you're like, what game are you playing? And then you like just see like this madness unfolding. Yeah. But I'm gonna be in there, dude. I'm not gonna spend any more money in this world, but we'll see how I do on the Battle Pass. I really wanted and it's free in the Battle Pass. I really wanted the ray gun dance. The Australian girl from the Olympics.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't know that was that's funny.
That's a free one in the Battle Pass, but it's about like level 50 or something, so you'll be able to get that.
Nice.
But it's a nice emote. So, all right, you ready to get this show rolling?
Yep, let's get there.
All right, let's talk about our new releases from this past week. All right, first up, we had Tetris Forever. Came out on November 12th on pretty much all the consoles. This one celebrates 40 years of Tetris. It's got 15 classic Tetris games, one new Tetris game, Tetris Time Warp, and then over an hour of documentary featurettes about Tetris and how it became to be, the game that we know today. Are you a fan of Tetris? Are you a big Tetris guy?
Absolutely. Not all the offshoots, but I am constantly on Tetris.com playing the 3 versions that they have on there.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know that was a thing. I feel like that's something I should have known. But yeah, this one, do you see yourself picking this up ever?
Depends on the pricing, I think, on that. I think that's and check fair. It out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's $35, and that's one of the things that people are calling it out on, the lack of variety. So it's got a lot of, they say 15 different classic Tetris games, which I think like half of them are like identical, just different aesthetics, there's no NES
green screen thing.
Yeah. Well, there's no classic NES Tetris. That's owned by Nintendo. This is from a separate company. So you've got all the ones that came out either prior to that or like different versions of that. The new one does sound cool. So it's like it's up to 4 players playing at once, and you warp between different eras, so the Tetris screen is constantly changing. So I think that one's really cool, and I like the idea of these documentary featurettes being added in there, like they did it with the Atari thing, where it's like you're watching a documentary and then getting to play part of the game. I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah, it's strange like that, because even from the trailer, you don't know if you're watching like a game trailer or a documentary trailer if you don't know.
Yeah,
they
do a great
it's
job.
Interesting. It'd be cool to see a little more of that if they come back and do like some Pac-Man, a new Pac-Man release or something.
I think these sell really well, and it's the one draw that, like, I have, an old Pac-Man game, but if you're gonna put in like a cool documentary and all these different versions, I'll absolutely get it, because that's the part that stands out, that makes things different from everything that's out there. Like that Atari one, I haven't gotten it yet, but it's on my wish list. Like, I think that's great. Every little game has like a little bit of a feature for it and stuff. So yeah, as long as they're still doing this, I'm gonna be in there. It's got an 85 on Metacritic, so it's getting great reviews, and I think the big selling point on it is the documentary feature, from what I've read. So yeah, it'll be one of those where I wait for a sale. I don't need Tetris that much for $35, but I will definitely check it out when I can.
Yeah, and speaking of, while we're on the retro end of this, Castlevania has a pack that's available right now. It's the free game for the week on Epic. It is, I think, a few of the older titles bundled together.
Oh, nice. Yeah, those ones age well. I always find those early Castlevanias, I think they're still fun. Still classic Metroidvanias. Well, I guess you wouldn't call them Metroidvanias. More Castlevanias.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Farming Simulator 25 also came out November 12th on Xbox X, PS5, and PC. This one, you got crops, you got animals, you got to build a farming empire with, they got new crops this time, over 25 crops. Like you got rice, spinach, peas, green beans. Is this doing it for you? Am I selling it? Maybe, how about some new animals? How about some new equipment? You got over 400 vehicles and tools from 150 top brands. Did that sell it? Sell it?
No, I think you and I are both probably sold on this. Our mutual love for simulator games.
Absolutely.
It does look very satisfying to get in there with a combine and go through these fields. Though I've never played one of these farming simulator games. I want to. So
this is my story, and I found some correlating things here. So I tried Farming Simulator, I think it was maybe 22, whatever the last one was. And they don't give you a tutorial. So I got dropped in this thing, and I had no idea what I was supposed to do. Usually I could figure it out. There's like a little arrow or something. Dude, it's just an open field and a tractor. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I literally, I sat 10 minutes. I ran around. I could not figure out what to do. So that was my extent of the Farming Simulator game. And some of the reviews that I've seen say the same thing, that if you're just jumping into a Farming Simulator, this is like a jumping on point, there's no tutorial. It doesn't tell you what you do. You got to go like find a YouTube video and watch that. But as for like, veterans to the Farming Simulator world, this just adds more to it and expands upon it. But yeah, it was a little scary when I read that. I'm like, I don't know. Do I want to do this? But I'll try it. I think it's on Game Pass, right? Is it on Game Pass?
Seems right. Yeah, I think we talked about it.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, dude, we're fans of the simulator genre, so I'll check it out if it's available. I would like to grow some corn. What would you grow if you could grow anything?
I grew pumpkins in real life this last year. It
nice.
Wasn't on purpose, but yeah, pumpkins, peppers, things like that, tomatoes.
Did you accidentally grew pumpkins?
Yeah, we looked up on the hill, and there was like a big vining, massive plant where like the last owners of our place had goats. So I'm guessing that they fed the goat a pumpkin, it pooped it out, and the pumpkin grew.
Yep. That's great.
We got like 20 pumpkins off of it. Really?
Wow, that's awesome. So yeah, you don't need this game, dude. You're out there living it. You're living it. Pumpkin Simulator 2025. It's got a 77 on Metacritic, so it's that's good. I would get that's a good score. for a simulator game, because you know how those could go either way. All right, and then last up, Lego Horizon Adventures. Lego Horizon Adventure. I don't know where the emphasis should be on that, because it's not like Lego Horizon. Lego Horizon Adventure. Anyways, this is out on PC, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. This is Horizon is the game. You got Aloy, you know, all those big giant robot dinosaurs. And it's basically just another story in that world, but it's also all Lego. It's like the classic Lego games you know and love. You got to save the Earth, battle, and hunt the machines. But yeah, everything's made out of Lego bricks. So that's fun, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing really good things out of it so far. I'm hearing that you know, people kind of expected it to maybe be a remake of one of the Horizon games, but it's not. It is its own thing. It's its own entity.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah, fans of the Horizon series, you get a brand new story set in that world. The gameplay, I'm hearing it's great. It's mission based. It's not like an open world kind of like Lego thing like they've done for a while. You just go around smashing things. So it is mission based. You go through and there's this story that's told. It's got co-op. So either couch co-op or online co-op, which adds a whole nother thing to it. The negatives that I'm hearing is that, first of all, it is a $60 game, which is crazy to have a $60 Lego game. Those things I feel like are always either going on sale or, I've never paid full price for a Lego game, even when they're $30. And that it's very short. So right there, you got... I don't know if there's enough value for what you're paying for there. So every review I saw, like I went through Steam and I looked at all the negative reviews, because right now on Steam it's pretty negative. But they all say it's a great game, just wait for a sale. It's at 71 on Metacritic. A lot of the same kind of thoughts. It's too pricey, but as a Lego game, it's fun. As a Horizon game, it's fun. So yeah, sounds good. And again, I will, just like Tetris, I'll put on my wish list and I'll wait for a sale. And hopefully, we'll get in there at some point.
Yeah. And how's No New Game November going, by the way?
It's good. It's good, which has been nice. Like I said, I haven't had time to, even look at the store on anywhere. So yeah, it's been a success so far. We're about halfway through. Yeah, we'll see what the Black Friday ads have. That might be
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, that is it for our new releases. Let's move things along and get into our news of the week. All right, our top story this week. Lots of things happening over in the Xbox world. We had there's a new ad campaign going on over there. We're going to talk about Phil Spencer. He's been making the rounds. He went to Bloomberg, Rolling Stone, and just dropping some quotes that we got to talk about. First up, though, the new Xbox ad campaign. Have you seen this thing? This is an Xbox.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the wild. I just saw it from our document.
This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. Yeah, so it is basically saying that Xbox is not just a console anymore, and this is kind of in line with what we've been talking about for a few years. The idea that you could play a game on your television, just through the Game Pass app, or your phone, or your computer, or your Xbox console. They're all Xboxes in this world. So it's a little interesting. I know the Xbox fans, Xbox fanboys are not happy with this whole move, because it's kind of, saying, why do you need an Xbox console that you want? Everybody wants a good quality gaming console here. But they're coming out and saying the opposite. You don't need that. You could play Xbox anywhere. So, yeah, what do you think?
I'm of two minds on it. First of all, my response to those people would be, why do you care where people experience their games? Just, worry about you and your Xbox if you're so into your Xbox. I guess they're worried about the financials of the company. there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, maybe if you're a major stockholder or something like that, you can get Microsoft to change their ways. But other than that, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what people play their games on. But second of all, on the other side, in this ad, we're seeing like a Fire TV stick. We're seeing, they jokingly put the bento box and the litter box on there to show you that those are not Xboxes, but they're trying to show you that you can play on anything and everything, which is like just not true, because there are definitely some different generations of Fire TV sticks, and I have a few of them. I got new ones because the old ones can barely run their own menus. Right. So, like, we talked just last week or the week before about how convoluted these different tiers of Game Passes and different versions of Game Pass are. And I think we're talking about Game Pass in the Xbox store when we're talking about playing on these different devices. This makes it even more complicated than it even needs to be. So while, what's his name, Jeff Keighley or Phil Spencer is talking about, I understand why people want the simplicity of one box. That's because one box works. If you have a PlayStation 5, you know that all the PlayStation 5 discs are going to go in there and the digital games are going to be downloaded on there, and they're going to work. With this, it's a crapshoot with so many different devices out there. You don't know what's going to work, what's not going to work, and to what degree they're going to work.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of what pushes a lot of people away from PC gaming, is that like you have to look at, specs and see like what games are going to work on this. With consoles, it was always like, okay, this is an Xbox game. This is going to work on the Xbox. You didn't have to worry about like which Fire Stick do I have? Which TV do I have? Which, refrigerator screen can I play this on? And I think you make a great point when you say like, like literally, you hold up a PlayStation 5 and say, this is a PlayStation 5. There's no question about what can or can't play on it. So it is giving mixed messages about what exactly you can or can't do on there. Real quick, Phil Spencer, the first of many quotes from Phil Spencer today. He says, it's an interesting topic because as we look at the brand, as we're changing the brand, it means something different. It literally was a box when it first launched. It was the DirectX box. What has grown into now is more accessibility. Xbox isn't just one device. Xbox is your smart TV. Xbox is on your PC. Xbox is on your phone, and we're in the middle of that transition. And acknowledging some of the fans that are turned off by the campaign, he said, some people long for the simplicity of a single box, single platform, single game. Today's largest games are bigger than any of the individual platforms. Talking about some of these live service games, your Minecraft, your Fortnite, your Roblox, that are bigger than that. You can play those anywhere. And then he said, I think the thing that should really have longevity are the games, characters, and world. And the platforms should enable us to experience those games where we want to play. That's how we think about Xbox today. So, it's basically saying like, okay, if you want to play whatever, one of the Minecraft, we'll say, because it's their title, that you can play that on any of these things. It doesn't matter if it's on the Xbox, you're playing that game. But I think that does need to sit like, do they have like, is Xbox going to put out any games that are like character forward, game centric, because we're not seeing them besides Minecraft. Xbox has, they're not doing that. So I don't know. It's definitely mixed messages.
Right. Yeah. And to a certain extent, I can agree that we're even getting into a better place. 5 years ago, or maybe it's been longer than that. Everything since COVID kind of feels like 2 years ago. But, cross-platform was a new thing that we were just talking about a few years ago. Before that, you couldn't play any game. I don't want to be so absolute, or people on TikTok will scream at us. But you couldn't play nearly any game cross-platform like that until like Rocket League was the first one, and that was like a couple years into them launching. So it is great to be able to play where you want, on what you want, with who you want, regardless of the platform. But I don't know if that's really what's going on here, or we're just making things more complicated than they need to be.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. We'll see how it pans out for them. Because everything and anything is an Xbox, just not a handheld, because that is another Phil Spencer thing where he said expectation is that we would do something in the handheld games device category, but such a device is a few years out. He said they're currently working on prototypes and considering what it might do, with his team developing its vision for a handheld based on what it learns from looking at the current market. Said in the shorter term, Microsoft will focus on improving the Xbox app so it works better on existing handheld gaming devices. Longer term, I love us building devices, he says, and I think our team could do some real innovative work, but we want to be informed by learning and what's happening now. So it seems like in the short term right now, hopefully they'll create a better Xbox app. You could play some of these games on your phone or tablet or whatever. And then longer term, maybe we'll see some sort of a handheld come out of Microsoft that will be an Xbox.
Yeah, so I'd be interested to see what they come out with. And I guess my only question would be like, what are they going to do different from the handful of things that are already out there? Because I'm sure it's like not straightforward right now until maybe a lawsuit goes through. But can't you play Game Pass games on the Steam Deck? There's some loopholes or something.
You can, yeah. Basically, I mean, through cloud gaming, you could do that. Basically, just on the Wi-Fi, sending it from your Game Pass to there. So yeah, I do play, and it is there's no Game Pass app right now, and I think that's something that I could see happening sooner than later, just as like a Game Pass app that you could open up in Steam Deck, which would be great. Right now, you would probably need, I think you could do it through Windows if you had the Game Pass app, because that's how I do it on my phone. I have the Game Pass app. I could play cloud gaming right through there, which is cool. Definitely dependent on your Wi-Fi and your internet speed, but yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice. And that's what I mean by like if a lawsuit goes through, because we just saw that happen with Apple and Epic suing them because of their exclusivity that they had going on the iPhone. So same thing probably applies to the Steam Deck and anything that Valve's going to come out with. So if they kind of broaden the horizons there for us, I think it'll be interesting. But there are already a bunch of other handhelds, as we discovered. We were looking at the launch of one, and we saw, okay, this company has already made like 10 of these things. Yeah. And they run Windows, and I'm sure that they run Game Pass games pretty decently. So I don't know. I mean, what kind of bells and whistles would you want to see on an Xbox handheld?
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything new that you could add. Just make a reliable, handheld gaming machine. So yeah, we'll see. That one, obviously, years away. But going forward, PlayStation 5 is an Xbox, in that Phil Spencer said that every Xbox game is up for grabs when it comes to making the platform jump over to PlayStation 5. He says, I do not see sort of red lines in our portfolio that say thou must not. So that being said, how cool would Halo on PlayStation be? I think that would reinvigorate that world, because until I got my Xbox a couple of years ago, I had never played a Halo game. It was one of those games where I always missed out on. Same thing with like Gears of War, those Xbox exclusive that I really always wanted to play. But yeah, you put a game like Halo on there, cross-platform, you could reinvigorate that multiplayer big time, as well as getting some of those older stories. So I would love to see that.
Maybe that's a really good strategy for Microsoft. Don't release it day one, but a year and a half into the game's cycle, you can take that exclusive over to PlayStation. Yeah, you've got a vibrant cross-platform multiplayer community again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see how. So we got Indiana Jones coming out in a couple of weeks. Excited to see how that does on PlayStation. I'll be playing it on Game Pass, day one Game Pass game, and I'm very excited for that game. I just recently watched all the Indiana Jones movies to get ready, and I'm excited. All the trailers for that look great. So that'll kind of be like, we'll get an idea how it works. Day one multi-platform as well on Game Pass. See what the sales look like, if that PlayStation gives them a huge boost, or how it works. But all right, more from Phil Spencer. He said one of the other things that I found interesting was that they are up for buying more companies. He said nothing is imminent right now, as they're still kind of finishing up the whole Activision Blizzard deal. But he said he's looking to add geographic diversity to their core, like more like somewhere in Asia. They don't have a lot over there. And yeah, he said, we definitely want to be in the market. And when we can find teams and technology and capability that add to what we're trying to do in gaming at Microsoft, absolutely, we will keep our heads up. So it's interesting. It's interesting that he even said that when right now, I mean, this year alone, over 2,500 layoffs. And they're still saying, yeah, let's buy more. Like, how does that feel to the people getting, let go from Microsoft when they're like, oh, we want to buy more companies, but, screw all these employees. I mean, currently, there's employees at ZeniMax, the, a company under the Microsoft umbrella that are striking for, better, like, remote working, and like they're outsourcing their Q&A. So it's interesting that these are things that the CEO of Xbox is saying right now while there's layoffs and strikes happening. So I just thought that was a weird quote to say.
Yeah, let's make no mistake about it. If they do acquire more companies, there will be redundancies that will be dealt with.
Yeah, more layoffs.
Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to get in on that kind of booming Chinese developer market right now, because we're seeing a lot of hits come out of China. Like, I mean, Black Myth Wukong and just several others.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot happening over there, which is nice to see. Since restrictions have been lifted in that country, we're definitely getting a lot more options coming out of that area. So yeah, it's cool. We'll see what continues to happen. I do like these times when Phil Spencer, it seems like it happens quarterly, where he'll just go around and just drop a bunch of quotes. I don't know if he does it just to get, in the news and get, eyes on the product, but it's fun to talk about. So he's usually very candid. So that was fun to hear. One other thing we did learn from this week is that Avowed, the Obsidian game that's been delayed, is finally coming out February 18th. It's going to be on PC, Xbox X and S, and on Game Pass day one. So, I'm excited to see how that one is. I've had my doubts since they showed the initial gameplay trailer, but hopefully the delay helped them kind of dial it in. You could pre-order it now, and if you do pre-order it, you could play it 5 days early. There's like multiple editions, the premium edition and all this stuff. So you can definitely get in there early. Even if you're playing on Game Pass, you can do like an upgrade for like $25 to play it 5 days early. Which is, again, it's another thing that I'm not a fan of, paying more money to play it a few days early.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I've not seen a lot of the like early stuff on this, but Obsidian is the studio that made the Fallout New Vegas, kind of modded Fallout 3 into that. They did Outer Worlds, and the way that felt so much like a Bethesda game, to me, it's almost like a 1-in-1. So if they're doing this in more of a Skyrim setting or Elder Scrolls, I guess, that would be pretty cool. If it turns out to be like a spiritual successor to Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. My concern initially when I saw the gameplay was that the fighting felt off. It didn't have a lot of weight to the attacks and stuff like that. It didn't feel right, but I'm hoping that I think that should be an easy thing to fix. So I'm looking forward to seeing more trailers, and then in a couple months we'll be able to play that on Game Pass. All right, anything else you want to chat about regarding Xbox or anything like that, or should we get rolling?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right, let's move on to something that I am very excited about. We got some information about Marvel Rivals and what to expect with the release coming up real soon. December 6th is when the game first comes out. And that's going to start with Season 0 called Doom's Rise. And that's going to run about a month. It's going to have 33 heroes playable from the start. And then Season 1 will start in January. That'll run for 3 months, and it'll add new heroes, new maps, new modes. There's going to have a battle pass, a lot of cosmetics, no pay to win stuff in the battle pass. It's all just cosmetics and stuff. So they've been kind of slowly announcing new heroes, and they just announced Psylocke, Moon Knight. Very, very excited. So
I looked into this. So from the Vice.com article, there's like a list of all these different Marvel characters. I recognize most of them from being pretty far removed from watching all the Marvel stuff out there.
Sure.
Jeff the Land Shark. I'm thinking, like, is this the dude from that Suicide Squad, the big shark guy?
No.
And so I looked it up, and it turns out, like, on YouTube, they're having all these reveal trailers, just like Smash Brothers did back in the day. That kind of became a meme format. And I watched the Jeff the Land Shark one, and it's just, like, unhinged.
Yeah.
I had no idea this character exists, but I'm sure it'll be pretty cool in the game.
Yeah. I played him in the beta, and he's like a healer. He could like swim on the land. He could dive under and jump up. Dude, he's a great character.
Oh, so he's a street shark. They call him land shark. He's a street shark.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be on grass, too. It doesn't have to be in the streets. I think that makes him a little more hood, too.
How much property damage do those street sharks do? Let's get off.
Yeah, quite a bit. Absolutely. Which is another cool thing about Marvel Rivals, that it's like there's destructible environments. Not that the street shark is doing any damage, but very excited. 33 heroes, 8 maps with quick match, competitive modes, 1 conquest map, new practice range, and a lot more new skins and stuff coming out. Like I said it before. So it's a free-to-play game, but it's going to be the most expensive game I own. I guarantee it, dude. Every time I see a skin, I'm like, ooh, I want that. So, yeah, I'm going to have a problem, and I'm going to need you to talk me down at some point, I'm sure. But, yeah, very excited. So, yeah, December 6th, I'm literally counting down the days. I'm going to make one of those, like, rings that you rip apart every day.
Yeah. Get an advent calendar for this.
Ooh, that's a great idea. Every day it's like a new Marvel thing. All right. We'll move on, though, because I will just ramble about this for hours. All right, next up, the PlayStation Plus game catalog was announced for November. This month, we're getting Grand Theft Auto 5, Dying Light 2, Stay Human, Like a Dragon, Ishin, MotoGP 24, The Sims 4 Island Living add-on, Digimon Survive, Overcooked, All You Can Eat, Stick Fight the Game, Clash, Artifacts of Chaos, Killer Frequency, Hungry Shark World, and Chivalry 2. For premium subscribers, you're also getting Synapse for the PlayStation VR 2, Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen 2, Resistance Fall of Man, and Resistance 2. So a mixed bag here. I think, GTA 5 is always a draw, but it's obviously it's an older title. It had been on PlayStation Plus previously. Now it's
probably
back
on the PS3 or something.
Yeah, I don't know when, but yeah, are you just saying it's really old?
Well, it was on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, right? That's where it started. It's hard to believe because now we're 2 console generations later and still talking GTA 5.
That's insane.
That's where we are.
But yeah, Dying Light 2, great game, Like a Dragon, and then a lot of weird random stuff. So subscribers to the package are gonna get something to play this month, whether you want to
like it or not.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. Hungry Shark World, that's a day one. I'm checking that out. I love Hungry Sharks. I love Worlds.
Dying Light 2 would be pretty cool too. Now that is the parkour zombie game because I always mess up Dying Light, Until Dawn, and then there's like 3 others.
Yeah, I always get that confused with Dead Island.
Dead by Daylight. Oh.
Yes. There's games. All right, moving along. Ubisoft is getting sued. This is a weird one. And it's not like, some weird patent lawsuit or something. This is 2 Californian gamers sick of their shit and just, they're mad about the shutdown of The Crew. Did you play this game?
Yeah, I played that on launch.
Okay, so you owned it?
Yeah.
You could be part of this lawsuit.
If I lived in California, but I'm not sure about where,
Well, I think this is going to grow. Once we talk about it on the show, man, this class action lawsuit's going to get big. It's going to get real big. Basically, they're saying that because The Crew was shut down and the servers were shut down, the game is unplayable. And people paid for this. So this is an issue that we always talk about: licensing versus owning. You know, are you renting these games? Are you owning these games? And the lawyers of for these gentlemen had an interesting quote. I'm going to read it real fast. It says, "Imagine you buy a pinball machine and years later you enter your den to go play it, only to discover that all the paddles are missing, the pinball and bumpers are gone, and the monitor that proudly displayed your unassailable high score is removed. Turns out the pinball manufacturer decided to come into your home, gut the insides of the pinball machine, and remove your ability to play the game that you bought and thought you owned." So that's, what do you think of that quote?
I guess they know their audience. They've got a 80-year-old judge sitting there. Pinball sounds. I would hate that.
Yes. So yeah, they're saying that the players were duped by first allegedly misleading players into thinking they were buying a game when they were merely licensing it, and that Ubisoft falsely represented that the cruise files were on its physical disc to access freely, and that the discs weren't simply a key for the game. And that Ubisoft is violating California consumer protection laws. So I don't know if this is going to hold a lot of water, this case. It's all about that user agreement that nobody reads when they start the game. You know, what is the wording of that? It is a shitty move
of Ubisoft. Regardless, it's so shitty
Absolutely.
that they've tried to fix it on their future games, like the Crew 2 and others. They're going to patch that in, so if the servers ever go down, you'll have access to a single player, and that's the way it should be.
Right.
So I mean, they know it's a shitty move, but yeah, like you said, it comes down to what that said. I mean, were these assumptions made by the buyers just because up until that point, every game they ever bought worked that way? It had some single player. There wasn't a server that could be turned off. But we've seen several games just kind of Thanos snap out of existence over the past few years. So, I mean, those are those going to be lawsuits as well? Or is there going to be some sort of protection in that user agreement that they said, you know, one day we can turn these servers off if we need to? Because that's probably true.
Yeah, probably. This will definitely set a precedent for that. But all you need is some fine printing really stating that you don't own this game. No one reads those things. You know, but the landscape of gaming is definitely changing with subscription packages and stuff like that. And even now, like you said, when you go and buy a disc and you think you own it, you really don't own anything. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this lawsuit. I don't imagine much, but it's hopefully this will make it a change for the better. Probably not. Like we said, it's probably just gonna change the wording of ownership, but it's weird having not ownership over your physical media and what that means for the future.
Yeah, so. The precedent that would be set from this would be crazy.
Yeah. All right, next up, we finally got a trailer showing off Arc Raiders gameplay. What do you think? Did you watch the trailer for this?
Absolutely, yeah.
What do you think of it?
It changed my perspective on what this game's going to be, because I remember we were talking, I think it was like 2021 Gamescom or something like that.
It was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, they had the reveal trailer, and I was really enticed by this game because it had this level of like retro futurism in the outfits and the armor. I was thinking like, wow, this looks like a Star Wars game almost, if you were just like a peon out there in this multiplayer PvE sort of Destiny, sort of Monster Hunter, sort of one other one there. I'm blanking on it. But now that we're seeing this view on it, it's looking way more like Tom Clancy's The Division, and that's about it.
Yes, absolutely, dude. That was the first thing that I took away from this, is that all that style, that 70s retro kind of aesthetic is gone. Like, that was the big draw. I loved looking at that. Now it's just really, just meh, the whole thing. It's just kind of like they removed all that. Like, graphically, it looks amazing. The sounds were awesome. Like, I thought like the technological parts of it looked great. But yeah, it's really just another extraction shooter. Now you got the PvP VE model in there. But yeah, overall it looked sparse. It looked boring at times. I was definitely much more disappointed than when we did first see it. The shift in the gameplay. Now, granted, this is just an early alpha kind of build. I don't know, early alpha. They've been working on it for a long time, but they're not in a beta build yet, so maybe they'll add more to it. But right now, yeah, it definitely gave me Division vibes. I know a lot of people compare it to like Tarkov because that's like the high standard for extraction shooters. But yeah, I don't know, man. Right now, it's not impressing me, and the fact that also this game does have a cost. It's not a free to play title. It doesn't do much for me. I'm a little worried about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I do want to see more of the dynamics of the game, because they showed kind of like what the game is. I want to see more exciting gameplay though, like, because it wasn't very exciting. It was like, okay, look, you can team up with other people or not, and then like, let's split the gold, and then they just start shooting at you, which will absolutely happen every time. No one's splitting anything in this game. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what the market is like for these games, especially with outside the free-to-play model. But I don't know. Hopefully we'll get some more information soon. There is no release date on that one. One game we did get a release date for. Get hyped, dude. Get the air horns. Infinity Nikki, December 5th. You could get all those fancy outfits, fly around with a tiny little cat or something. I don't really know, man. But yeah, it's finally happening. December 5th on PC, PS5, iOS, and Android. Free-to-play game. I don't know what it is. I've found out that this is the 5th installment of the Nikki series, and this is the first one I've seen.
Are the other ones like maybe a little janky or something? That's the vibe I get. I get like Power World, not in the style of the gameplay at all, but in the build quality.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're mobile games. So I don't know if this is the first one coming to PC or PS5, but yeah, I know. I keep showing it to my wife, and it's free to play. We'll check it out. We'll get some fancy outfits. It's kind of Disney-ish meets Fortnite. I don't know. There's like
maybe Dreamlight Valley or something like that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and I saw somewhere that they had like 30 million pre-registrations. Yeah. So I don't know where those people are, who those people are.
They're right here, baby. I've got 29 million myself.
Gotcha.
It was that was all 1 week. I had a bot doing it for me. It was great. I'm ready to go. I'm going to sell them on the dark web.
I see you're out there putting out the good word about this game on TikTok and everything.
Yeah, dude.
You want some Infinity Nikki.
We need the outfits. I'm thinking that I'm going to start some sort of a farm. I feel there's got to be some sort of cost. Like you get, like there's a lot of weirdos out there that want to have the schoolgirl outfit or whatever. I'm going to be selling those on eBay. So hit me up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will absolutely download it day of when it comes out. I will try it for 1 day until Marvel Rivals comes out the next day, and then I will delete it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Unless it really wins me over. I don't know if it might be too girly for my son to play, but the actual gameplay looks kind of, right up his alley. So we'll see how it works out. But Infinity Nikki, December 5th. Marvel Rivals, December 6th. Indiana Jones, like December 12th or something like that, 9th. I don't know. It's going to be an exciting few weeks, man. So very excited. This is another reason I cannot buy any games in November, because I will not play them once December 5th happens. So I'm counting on you to hold me to that. So you're gonna be my sponsor. If I'm at the store or anything and I'm like, oh, this is such a good deal, I'm gonna call you and you're gonna talk me down.
Yep, I'm gonna give you your 1 month chip at the beginning of December.
Yeah, you need to go to a meeting. All right, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, let's end this debacle. No, this is not a debacle. This is a good episode. I had fun. Make sure you check us out on TikTok, like we said a few times. It's a lot of fun discussions and stuff happening over there. Also, Blue Sky, Gaming News Weekly over there. And then YouTube, that's the big one. Go to Pop Culture Playgrounds where you'll find this show and a few others. Hit subscribe, and you can watch us talk about games. You get the trailers. You get the Infinity Nikki trailers popping up right there. Arc Raiders, when we're talking about how good this looks, bam, it's right there. You can watch along with us. But if you don't want to do that, if you just want us on the go, anywhere podcasts are found, type in GNW, you will have access to this show. Hit subscribe every Monday morning. It'll be there for you. What else? I think that's everything. Yeah, do all those things. Make sure you like, subscribe, all those things. And then come back next week. We'll be talking about more. I think the Game Awards trailers dropped this week. So we'll be talking about that next week. I'm excited to get into that with you. So as soon as the nominations come out, you get your picks. We're going to do our picks just like last year, see how we fare. Because those, I think the Game Awards is December 12th this year. Something like that. It's on a weekday. It's a weeknight this year. So I can't rage and party like I normally do.
Maybe our last game of the year, because we usually take a week or two off there. So people want to make sure that they catch that one especially.
Absolutely. So, all right. Stop back next week. We'll talk about more games on Gaming News Weekly. All right. Bye-bye.